Well, Neal, what did you learn from that game today?
Hopefully that what other people probably need to see is that we're really short. We've known it all along, but the boys have worked hard through pre-season. We always, for the last 6 years when I've done pre-seasons, we kind of build them up. You have the big games, the Ipswiches and stuff, and then we build it so that the last couple of games are a bit more physical. And even at Wimbledon, we found that last weekend the physical side tough, and both games we struggled, and it was something we struggled with last year, and it shows us where we're short. We need to become not a fitter team, because the boys have worked hard, but certainly a more physical team, a more manly team to be able to cope with the league.
I was going to say, it seemed a good precursor for what the league is going to be like next season.
And that's why we do it. We do think quite a lot about how we plan our pre-seasons, and that last weekend double-barrelled is always a bit more of a physical game and a little bit more like for like, and today we got sort of beaten up and outrun and intensified and physical and all that kind of stuff, and the same happened last night. So all the positivity of some of the performances before, which have been great, and there's been some nice stuff, need to be shown up. And the reason we got relegated last season was because we weren't, strong enough for the league.
How crucial is it that you try to get players in this week? I mean, how much work do you think you can get done before Eastleigh?
We have to. There's no whether we can or not. It doesn't matter. We have to, give up every hour to do it. Ultimately, I'm going to try and hopefully meet the new guys again, or at least one or two of them on Tuesday. We need to make moves. Obviously, before that, we'll make loads of moves. But we haven't got bundles. I know they're going to try and increase and help, but a lot of it's already used up. If I'd have looked at last season, I'd have said to you, if we'd have had a clear summer, we probably needed a bit of an overhaul. That's not going to be easy with a week we're leading up to the season, but we certainly need to man up as a team.
I just got to ask you about a couple of injuries. Matt Tootle last night, he went off. How is he?
Just said he felt his glute muscle just didn't feel right, so came off. So I have to wait and see what happens with that next week.
And Christian Dennis?
Christian's just got a little grade 1 calf strain just at the bottom of his calf. He felt it in the Ilkeston game. So obviously not ideal because he hasn't had the minutes. These boys, we built everything up to 90s, but sort of Toots hasn't had the minutes. Christian Dennis hasn't had the minutes, so which isn't ideal. But hopefully, like I say, and the other thing is when we do try and sign these players, we've got, like I said, 8 games in the first month, and if you're signing players that haven't had a pre-season or haven't played in many games, it's a risk as well. So it's not easy, and we want to hit the ground running, of course, but we're going to have to try and stay as solid and competitive as we can early on, while we bed a team in together that hasn't had a pre-season together.
A couple of trialists out there today, Damien McCrory and Kyle Reid. How do you think they got on?
To be fair, we found out a lot more about them today. They've done really well over the pre-season. We saw a lot more things today about them. So, and again, it's not totally going to be my decision. The new owners, with the data and stuff they've got, they're going to want to challenge decisions and certainly look at who we want to sign and why, and have an input. So, like I say, Tuesday we'll have I'm sure a lengthy discussion, and hopefully we can start working on bringing one or two in and somehow trying to get a team out to be competitive next Saturday.
Is Nathan Tyson a player that you'd like to do a deal for, given the pre-season?
Nathan's had a good pre-season as well. They're all there for discussion. That's the best way to put it. It's not fair to sort of single out anyone at the moment. I think it's all there for discussion, but I think it's clear we need some physical qualities within the squad. Can we find them in the next week, 10 days? We'll certainly work hard to.
Are the players out there, given that you've gone all summer and got to this stage and obviously not made a signing, and a lot of players have already been signed up, is the quality out there for you to bring in?
We'll have to find out. It's I'm not going to say yes in case I can't get any of them over the line. There's a number of things. Number one, do they want to come? Number two, can we afford them? We haven't got fortunes. Like I say, a lot of the budget's already used up. So we're going to have to do some wheeling and dealing. So we'll have to see. Sometimes you find that once the season starts and one or two players realise they're not in a manager's plans, they then become available, but that might not happen until 2 weeks into the season. So what we need to try and do is get like almost a short-term goal, which is to try and get a couple in, at least 2 or 3 in before Saturday, to give us a chance to start on at least the right foot. Then a medium term to try and get some stuff done before. I know we're not bound by the transfer window, but league clubs are, if there's players available from there, and get them out if they realise they're not in their team's plans. That's probably the medium term, building up towards the end of August, and obviously the long term will be the new owners trying to implement some of the qualities that they've got from their business and take the club forward.
So that's right, with the transfer window, you can still sign players from league clubs, but
we can sign players from we can sign all the way through, but obviously, we've got 14 games in the first 2 months, and that's nearly a third of the season. So it's one of them, you don't want to find that you're in the bottom half and you haven't done any of your business and you're trying to pick and cherry pick the right ones. We're not in that position. We've got to try and do some wheeling and dealing, and quickly. We can't throw loads of money at it because we haven't got loads spare at the moment. We're going to have to get some out and some in.